Good morning. We're going to do a little bit deeper dive into the tortoise, the hare, and the rat story today. Um, there is a model in psychology, psychiatry called the BioPsychoStress Model. A lot of big words, but the idea is that that model gives you a roadmap, a point of origin or start, and hopefully a healthy destination to get to, so that you can navigate solving all kinds of psychological and business problems in your lives. All right. So every problem can be found in this model and ways to solve it, if that makes sense. So so when you're looking at it, it is, I guess the last way of saying it is, it's a reflection of your personal and psychological health. So your physical health and your psychological health and how they interconnect. Okay. Stress, the great quote, great definition. Stress is a negative emotional energy coming at you from outside of your personal boundary. Now, if you remember, the tortoise has a really, really strong shell. So they've got a really strong personal boundary. People make fun of them. People say things about them. What do? They laugh it off. They're like, oh, yeah, okay, whatever. That's a very strong personal boundary. Now, the hare and the rat have, let's say, thick skin. They don't have a strong personal boundary. Anything can affect them. Obviously, the rat needs to grow up quite a bit, because he takes a step in the direction and then quits when he sees how fast the hare is going, not recognizing that he could continue going himself and just plod along with the tortoise, and he'd come in second. Right? So he didn't even do that. He could have even gotten a ride perhaps on the tortoise back. He didn't even do that. He just got off, and all the other rats looked around and said, it's just not for us. Okay? So the rat has to overcome a lot. The rat has to overcome past choices. He needs to grow up. He needs to learn how to make better choices. The hare already has a lot going for him. He's not in that downward negative spiral that the rat is, but he has to have more maturity. He has to grow up and learn to make better decisions. Okay. So the biopsychostress model, if you think about it from this perspective, there's biology, psychology, and stress. Okay. And again, it's negative energy coming from outside of you. So your biology is problems with your physical resources or your physical ability to do things. So for example, when I developed Guillain-Barré, I told you guys yesterday, I lost 28.5 pounds of muscle, nerve tissue, etc. in 2 weeks. I was literally wasting away. All right. Now, and no jokes about my being fat now. Thank you very kindly. Because I'm working on that. But they tried all kinds of medications, and not even something like ibuprofen or NSAIDs are these anti-inflammatories that you can take, okay, that aren't steroid based. Tylenol didn't work. Nothing worked. They tried all kinds of medications. Nothing. And so because of that, I simply had to force myself to overcome, to heal. I couldn't walk. I couldn't hold a fork to eat, right? I was being fed for a period of time. And then I finally got the dexterity again to start feeding myself, bathing myself, cooking, something I love to do, obviously, right? All of these things were affected by my biology. There was no technological cure. It's not like they could just put a brace on my leg and have me walk. It's not that. It's the wiring in my body and the muscles. So from a biological perspective, I simply had to figure out how to heal. Now, some of that was targeted nutrition, very specific vitamins, amino acids, and other items. And I'm not going to make references and referrals, but talk to your neurologist, talk to homeopathic doctors, naturopaths. Thank you. Neuropatha in Spanish, naturopath in English. Got it. Okay. Those kind of people had different insights that could help me heal. And those are the things that I worked on, talking to personal trainers, getting insights into how to exercise given my limitations in order to start building muscle back. So I had to make choices about how to improve my biology. Stress can negatively impact biology and it can negatively impact psychology. But your biology can also negatively infect your psychology. It can make stress even worse. So the psychology or the problems that we deal with from psychology can stem from, let's say, mental or cultural resources within us. And how do you overcome that? Therapy, education, learn more, live more, make better decisions, make stupid decisions and learn from them. I mean, that's the essence of our mind. Fail faster is sometimes a cliche that is spoken of, but if you make a bad decision and you learn from it, the failure was a lesson. If you make a bad decision and you don't learn anything, you lost everything that you took and put into that decision. So learn from it, if nothing else. Now, stress, again, coming from outside of you, it's the only thing that you cure by making a decision. You can cure stress by making a decision. Now, remember, not making a decision is associated with a negative spiral. Okay. So it's downward. Making a decision in general is always positive. You made a choice. You took another step. Now it splits off and you've got constructive decisions and destructive decisions. Again, learn from the destructive ones so that you can make more constructive ones later. But this is the exact same way it is with us as dads and moms and our kids. We screw up all the time. We do. And we have to talk to our kids and say, I'm not perfect. I make mistakes. This is a mistake that I made, and this is what I learned from it. Yesterday, I happened to be at the mechanic. It was a Saturday morning that we took the podcast on the road, right? And what happened? I took it in. I said, these are the issues. Would you guys please give me a shopping list of things that I think I need to fix in the vehicle? I don't know what's going on, but this is what I'm seeing. This is what I'm hearing. Comes back. He says, all right, you've got this going on with the engine and you need 2 front struts. Cool. Okay. Not cheap, but cool. Now I have a roadmap. This mechanic is fantastic. He'll let you buy your parts as long as they're reputable, they come from a good manufacturer. He will let you buy your parts and then they'll put them on. That'll save me 15 or 20% on the parts cost because they always mark them up and they acknowledge that. If we sell you our parts, we know they're going to work, but we mark them up because we make a small profit on those. Okay, cool. So, and there have been times I've gotten to this guy for years now, many years. There have been times I've said, no, don't worry about it. Just go for it. There are other times when I've gone and bought, part of an axle and said, yeah, we have to get this ball joint and these other things fixed. And he said, contact this company. And I ordered them, got them shipped to me, brought them over. They slapped them on. Everything ran great. And he had no problem with it because I bought from a reputable manufacturer. So these are learning how to make good decisions. Our families need us to do the same thing. Our kids come to us and they're hurting, right? They have issues, they have challenges, they have things that they're dealing with. Our spouses come to us also. Guys may not talk about it, but they're hurting on the inside sometimes. And wives need to learn how to nurture that out of them so that they can talk about it. And guys, sometimes we just have to listen and not fix things. It it's part of our nature. It's how we are constructed, how we're designed. But here's something important and it's powerful from Psalm 147:3. It says, He heals the brokenhearted and binds up their wounds. Healing comes in a variety of ways. I'm talking about the brokenhearted here, right? This is psychology. The brokenhearted, the people who have maybe made good decisions, still had to fail. Maybe made a bad decision, have to grow up and learn from it. Either way, it hurts. We're dad, you know, we're mom. We don't want to see our kids struggle. We don't want to see our kids suffer. Unfortunately, sometimes it's the only way they do. You know, we have the story about people burning their hand on the stove. Hey, don't touch a hot stove. Check it for heat first before you burn yourself. And unfortunately, some of our kids touch the hot stove. It happens. So keep making good decisions. I appreciate you guys very much for watching these podcasts. I ask that you would like, share, send out, to your friends and say, hey, check this out. That really helps us. Now, that being said, Dad Quote of the Day makes this possible. If it weren't for Dad Quote of the Day and setting up this podcast, we wouldn't be able to reach out and give you guys this information so that you can do better at being awesome with, as a dad and as a mom with your kids. So we're grateful, right? But also check out dadquoteoftheday.com or dqotd.com. Chef Dad, Chef Kid is a program we set up. And my girls and I published a book last year. And the idea was to get dads and kids and moms in the kitchen talking, get them away from the TV, get them away from the iPad, teach them how to make scrambled eggs, give them some life skills. Okay. And by doing that, you give them the opportunity to grow in self-confidence, to grow in self-worth, and you're bringing your family together in time to talk about things because guess what? Eggs aren't instant. And yeah, you can microwave oatmeal for a minute in the microwave and have breakfast. But guess what? It takes a little more time to have a relationship with your kids. So this is an opportunity while you're dicing up some zucchini or a tomato or making a kale shake in the blender, whatever it is, for you guys to have a conversation about different things. How's school going? How's work going? Etc. And work through them together and grow stronger and build that trust. So thank you. Let me bless you and send you on your way. Father, thank you for this day. And thank you for all the amazing moms and dads and the kids that watch these podcasts. I ask that you would bless them, that you would help them to understand that diagram, if you will, that I outlined on biology and psychology and stress to help them make not only better decisions, but how things interact and maybe having that conversation together. And maybe it'll help them to grow stronger. But I ask that you would bless them with wisdom and discernment and strength. In Jesus' name, amen. Take care. It's good to talk to you. We'll talk to you again tomorrow. See ya.